The movie Doctor Strange is a heroic story that displays all three archetypes known as primordial, universal, and recurrent, as discussed in Jung's book called Contributions to Analytical Psychology. In the character himself, Doctor Strange exhibits these archetypes from the loss of identity he suffers, the search for resolution, to the constant questioning of the world around him. The primordial comes into play when Doctor Strange's identity is in crisis, and this leads him to feel a sense of loss and well being. This seems to be an innate feeling that anyone from any background tends to feel when they are in a position that causes their identity to be put into question. As a human race, we tend to become what we do, and that is who we are, and how others may view us and describe us. As Sales states, when attributes of our identity are externalized, those attributes control us. In Doctor Strange's search for a resolution to cure himself, we see a man willing to go to the extreme to search for answers, a feeling that is universal in us all when faced with adversity. Lastly, his inquisitiveness causes him to constantly question his environment with a skeptical eye. This curiosity and skepticism is recurrent in human nature. The doctor's identity or persona relies on what he does. This is what he presents to the world. Doctor Strange is arrogant, ambitious, stubborn, cocky, highly intellectual, believes in his way of things. He soon gets in a terrible accident. He awakes and his vision is directed to his hands. The first sentence he utters is, "What did they do?" And when told, his arrogance is reinforced to us when he immediately comments that he could have done better. When his persona is interrupted, we see the shadow display itself in how he treats his ex lover who is caring for him. We see it during his physical therapy when he mocks and undermines his therapist. These negative emotions displayed by Doctor Strange reinforce what Eckert explains as the shadow. The anima is displayed during his moments of humbleness, worry, concern, and fear. The hero Doctor Strange does accomplish individuation during his efforts to heal himself. He learns he has to reach a higher plane of thinking that goes beyond the physical. He struggles to let go of control, to trust in something other than himself, to believe what he cannot scientifically prove or see when science has been his refuge. He eventually humbles himself a bit, but still only in an effort to look out for self, all while questioning the newfound ideas presented by the Ancient One that combats his science with spiritual answers. The character of the Ancient One advises him to surrender himself in the flow of things in order to control it. He is still baffled by how you can control what you have surrendered to. The Ancient One puts him to the test to see if he is actually taking in what he is learning, and learning to think beyond his physical being. He reiterates his problem lies with his hands. The Ancient One proves him wrong by introducing a familiar character who has lost a hand. She emphasizes his limits are due to his mind, not his hands. He is then put into a situation where his mind and beliefs are tested. When he succeeds, this seems to be the true starting point for the individuation he will reach. This is evident in the scenes that follow, where his appearance and demeanor start to become more positive and in tune with the teachings. Throughout the movie, the trials and tribulation he is seen going through slowly allows him to begin to see himself differently. When he is again confronted by his own desires and the path to choose righteousness for the greater good, he elects to succumb to his higher calling as the hero.